The Toronto Blue Jays have officially brought this ALCS series back. They're obviously down 0-2, able to come back in Seattle and win the next two games is super impressive. They tied this series up at 2-2. But this Toronto team can really win it all, I think. I think there's a couple of ways they can do this, as we've seen in their previous postseason wins. Now, we got to start with this offense, because this offense has the lowest strikeout percentage in the league, which is extremely impressive, just because we've seen the errors throughout all of the postseason, right? With the plays with the Phillies that they made, with the plays that even the Brewers had made when they lost yesterday. I mean, there's just been so many errors that have happened in this postseason by just putting the ball in play, and that's a super big factor as well. I mean, not every single ball that's hit in play is going to be an error, obviously, but it does increase that percentage. So keeping the ball in play is super key for this Toronto team. They scored 21 runs in the last two games as well, which is pretty key to note as well, because that's pretty impressive. And I think you can see that Vladimir Jr. and I think George Springer are the spark plug for this team. I mean, those guys are on all cylinders, playing extremely well, especially Vlad. I mean, I know he was pretty quiet so far in this series, but once again, the last two games he's turned it around. I mean, even in yesterday's games, these guys were unreal. I mean, Vlad was 2 for 5, looking unreal. And then if we look at game 3, I mean, Springer was 3 for 6, so absolutely incredible. And what we're seeing with this team is a lot of the guys are playing really well. It's not just these two. I mean, there's two players I personally want to talk about that I think are underrated. Andres Gimenez has been extremely underrated, especially with Erne Clement. He's also been extremely underrated. I really did not think he was going to be as good of a player as he is right now. So that's just super impressive from these two guys. They're pretty much in the lower part of the order, especially with Gimenez. I mean, he had 4 RBIs last night, and he was batting number 9th. He was 2 for 3, and he played absolutely phenomenal. Really came in clutch for this Blue Jays team when it mattered. And you look at Clement as well. I mean, he went 2 for 5 in game 4 yesterday as well. I mean, he has just been so underrated for this team. He's batting 452 in this postseason, which is unreal. Him and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. are the only players that have a 400 average, which is just insane for this team. So yeah, just extremely impressive of what these players have been able to accomplish, especially with the Gimenez trade in the offseason. A lot of people didn't think that was that crazy, but he's having a massive impact for this team right now, and especially Clement as well. He's also been just absolutely phenomenal for this squad. But the offense has just been unreal for this team. Let's move on to the pitching. We got to talk about this pitching staff. This pitching staff has also been pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Kevin Gausman, Shane Bieber, Max Scherzer have been like the key for their wins when it comes to starting pitching. With the way the pitching is set up for the next 3 games, I definitely think it's going to be good as well. And I know Trey Savage also falls into this category with that starting pitching. Obviously didn't perform the best when he did pitch, giving up like 5 runs, I'm pretty sure, in like 4 innings. But even he, I feel like, can be very impactful if they don't want to bring him as a starting pitcher. Or maybe they use Max Scherzer or the bullpen or something like that. I think one of those guys could be in the bullpen, because if you go Kevin Gausman game 5, you go Shane Bieber game 6, you start a Max Scherzer game 7, or you Savage, the other one could come out of the bullpen if needed, if it ends up going that far in the series. The pitching has been really good. I mean, we saw how good Max Scherzer was last night. I mean, yelling at his manager to not come out of the game is exactly what you want. Shane Bieber and Kevin Gausman are going to bounce back in the next games, I'm pretty sure. And even when they did lose, the team just really didn't hit that much. So you can't blame the pitchers for giving up the runs, but when the team doesn't hit, you're just never going to win a baseball game. What I was going to mention about the Scherzer situation is the passion is what you want to see from this team, right? Him yelling at John Schneider to not bring him out of the game is huge. That hypes up the rest of the team. I mean, there were even the reactions from the players. We saw Springer in the dugout talking to the rest of his teammates, being like, damn, I didn't expect that to happen, but they were all kind of laughing about that. But that hypes up the team, right? I think that's super important for the team. He obviously gets out of that situation super emotional, super hyped up, so that was definitely key for the Blue Jays last night. The last thing I want to talk about the pitching is that bullpen. I think the bullpen has been okay, but I think we have to limit their exposure as much as possible. What I mean by that is putting 1 pitcher per inning, and that is what the Blue Jays have done to be successful. I'm not gonna lie, that is what they've done. I mean, as soon as that starting pitcher comes out, they're using guys for 1 inning max, which I think is super good for this team. Any more than that, I feel like they're just gonna blow games, which is what they did in the first 2 games. So I think limiting that exposure, having those starting pitchers go deep into these games is gonna be super beneficial for this team. And even if their starting pitchers tend to struggle earlier, I still think they should keep them in, because you don't want to drain that bullpen, because we've seen other postseason teams do that, especially when it comes to elimination games or something like that. They'll pull their starter early just to get him out of there and try to get their bullpen in, but then it usually doesn't work out for them. But I think the pitching has been pretty solid, and we'll see how it does moving forward in the rest of this series. Let's go to my prediction about this series, right? I really do think the Blue Jays can win this. Their pitching staff is set up so perfectly for the end of this series, like we talked about, with Shane Bieber, Kevin Gausman, Scherzer, and Savage all being available. So I think if they just perform the way they should and they have a solid bullpen, I think Jeff Hoffman is a big piece of that bullpen when it comes to closing out games. Another free agent acquisition in the offseason. Obviously, the Blue Jays offense needs to score early. They got to go up early. They got to get that spark going quick in these games, because that's what they've been able to do in game 3 and 4, and it worked out perfectly. And they also did that when they played the Yankees as well, and that worked out incredible for them too. So getting up early, getting that offense going quickly, and getting that spark is definitely going to help this team a lot, especially when the pitchers have these cushions, right, of runs. So if they give up 1, it's not the end of the world. That's definitely a relief factor for them. I think those are the 2 things they need to do, is get up early on Seattle, and then obviously these pitchers can relax relax a little bit, they can throw what they need to throw, and then that pitching staff is set up absolutely phenomenally for the rest of this series. And then the bullpen's got to be pretty solid. Obviously, limiting that exposure, one guy per inning, I think is going to work perfectly for them. And I think John Schneider has done a good job of that, especially, but this is what I think they need to do to actually win this series. And I think if they keep doing that, if they were to get to the World Series, they would definitely have a shot at what looks like the Dodgers are going to be in that World Series as well. So what's your guys' thoughts on this Toronto Blue Jays team? They've obviously played incredible this postseason, putting up so many runs, having so many good pitching performances. Do you guys think this team could win the ALCS and then win the World Series? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.